I think the beginning of me realizing that my music where it wasn't supposed to be, it's like obviously if you're talented, you realize that you're talented. You're gonna have a lot of yes men around you. You're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, like your friends around you that are like, okay, this is dope, whatever. But then when you're listening to people who are really being successful in it, you're like, okay, let me listen to mine, and then let me listen to theirs. Okay, there's something about their element and about what they're doing that's not matching mine. So how am I gonna get myself to that level? And I think the beginning of that for me was like working with Eric Bellinger in the studio, just like a successful songwriter. So I'm just in there just learning every day, learning the melodies, learning why he does certain things in certain spots, learning how to format a record. And then I'm also listening to his production because he's getting beats sent to him from all the biggest producers in the game, whether it's for himself or for writing. So just being there every day and just learning and just seeing him write for other people in that process and seeing how everybody low key in the room has an input in the record and set the vibe and the tone for it, that just helped me. And then once I learned enough from him, I kind of just ventured off on my own and just started using what I learned from, just being in the back of the studio watching him and then just applied that to my process. I think a lot of my influences come from like, obviously studying other artists who are successful, but other artists who wouldn't make sense in the genre that I'm in. If they're boxing me in with the R&B, I'll listen to like a Young Thug or listen to like a Roddy Ricch or like people who are just like delivery based. And I'm like, okay, how can I incorporate not what they do, but like just like a little smidge of like combining that into the R&B, so it's not just like sounding like everybody else. So I think I think I'll even go back and listen to other like older art. I'll listen to like Ja Rule or like DMX. I'm super big on DMX because I just love his delivery and it's like nobody else's. So I'll just go back and listen to those people and just like, okay, these first 4 bars, they sound like what an R&B artist should sound like. Okay, for these next 4, I wanna deliver that differently and make it sound like you know what I'm saying, like something it's not supposed to sound like. So I do that and I bounce around with the creativity throughout the formatting of the track just to, to tap into making so that you're not getting tired. The ear doesn't get tired because there's always something. I might even just say something that's like absurd and it's like, oh shit, like I wasn't expecting him to say that. He's different. You know what I'm saying? So just stuff like that. I think a piece of advice that would have definitely kept me motivated throughout the years would be to just know that in this industry, they say it's 1 in a million because there's a million people who don't want to put in the work and who don't believe that they can do it and easily quit with disappointment. So like younger me, just thinking like, damn, like this is gonna be really hard to do. Why would I think that I could do it? Why can't you do it? It's because a million other people are thinking that same mindset that you're just like, you know what I'm saying, that you have right at that moment that like, why me? Why should I be doing this? Like, it's gonna be way harder than I thought. If you keep sticking to it, man, you'll really just see the progression throughout the time. And if it is meant to be, like, you still never know. But like, if it is meant to be, blessings will start coming and things will start happening for you. So I think just reminding myself the patience that it takes to be in this kind of industry is something that I would tell myself. So like when I dropped one of my first singles, like when I dropped There You Go, it was doing very well. We had the Billboard premiere and all that stuff. And I'm just like, to me, I'm just like, cool, that's a great start. But like everybody else around me is like way more excited than I am. So like every time something special happens, I kind of have to ground myself and be like, nah, this is big. Like how many people do you know at the level that you're at right now that are doing the same thing? You know what I'm saying? And really making things happen. Or even when I get like a certain amount of streams or plays that in my mind, I'm comparing to the people who are super successful. Like, damn, like this is really nothing to them. But to a lot of people who are on the come up and are grinding, it's like, no, that's a lot more. A lot more people are paying attention to you than you actually think. So just paying attention to little things like that and appreciating them and being happy about it and humble about it.